Well, shalom, shalom. I'm Barbara, and I'm always short and sweet. I'm glad to be back with you this week. We're getting close to Thanksgiving time here, and I just wanted to tell you a little story, my story, and it gives Yeshua his glory. And it's about walking with Yeshua, and it's a story when I was a little girl, about 5 years old, and his name is Jesus, and his Hebrew name is Yeshua. So we lived in an old farmhouse. Actually, I was born upstairs in this farmhouse, a farmhouse like this, and it was an old farmhouse. It had been abandoned at one time, and my mom and dad had fixed it all up. And I had two brothers when I was 5 years old, and mom and dad, and we all stayed upstairs. And we had water that was pumped outside of the house and carried in. Water was heated on the stove for baths in a tub like this. And, of course, no indoor plumbing. And I shared the upstairs with my brothers, like I said. Mom and Dad had their own room. And there was very steep stairs going downstairs. And, of course, when you're little, I was only 5, always scared of the stairs. But at the top here, when you first come down, there was a picture of angels. My mom had a picture there, the angels guarding over the children on the bridge, and he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. So that was always something in my mind, and know I was being cared for. Well, my dad wanted to build a new house. It was time to get a new house. And so he had my uncle come over and dig a great big hole behind our house to build, and we were going to have a basement. So it was just past the well, and it was very, very deep. It seemed much deeper than this. And, of course, to a little 5-year-old, it was hugely deep. And one night I was sleeping, and Yeshua came and woke me up. And there were no words said or anything. He just woke me up, and he took me by the hand, and I trusted him, and we walked out of the bedroom, and we walked down the hallway, down the stairs, and he held my hand. I wasn't afraid, and it was dark inside the house, and the stairs were narrow, and he was walking with me. We went through the living room, out through the kitchen, and outside. And once we got outside, it was daylight out there. We walked past the pump, and we walked out by that big dirt hole. And Yeshua had my hand, but I was on the inside where you could fall off this edge. And every once in a while, I would slip and start to fall, and all the dirt would be kicking with my feet, trying to get back up. And Yeshua had my hand, and he pulled me back up. And then it happened again. I would get on the edge, and then I would start to fall in, and he'd pull me back out. And that happened several times all the way around this very deep basement hole. And nothing was said. He just was there, and he saved me every time I fell in. And so then we just started walking back in the house. And we went past the pump house again, in the back door. We walked up through the kitchen, through the living room, back up the stairs, and it was dark in the house. And we walked past Mom and Dad's room, back to my bed. And then I went back to sleep. In the morning, I told my mom, I said, Jesus was here last night. And she said, no, he wasn't here. And I said, yes, he was here. We walked outside and went around that big hole, and I fell in almost, but he held on to me. And she said, well, it might have been a dream, but it wasn't real. It was very real to me. I mean, it's been decades and decades ago, because I am a baby boomer, and this happened in the 1950s when I was just 5 years old, and it was a very vivid dream that Yeshua gave me. And he gave it to me because on life's road, there's a lot of bumps, there's a lot of deep edges, and I did fall in several times, almost. but he always had my hand and held my hand, and he still holds my hand. Anytime I fall or anytime I get close to the edge, he pulls me back because he is our Savior. So this is one of my favorite verses, Isaiah 41:13. I am Jehovah, your Elohim, Yeshua, your Savior, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. And I would like to hear your story. Would you put your story in the comments below about a time when Yeshua has held your hand, or just type in the words, he saves. We'd like to hear from you. And I'm just want to tell you another verse. There's many about him holding our hand and caring for us. John 10:39, Yeshua says, no one is able to take them out of my Father's hand. So please like if this was a blessing to you, and please share it with your friends. Share miracles, share thankfulness. And look for these verses below. I'll have them there for you. Another good one, Isaiah 41:10. Again, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand, one of my favorites. So remember, I'm short and sweet, and I'll be back next time, yeah, willing, and see you all later. And don't forget to hit the little bell so you don't miss anything, and I hope that you do subscribe. So blessings, and thank you for tuning in today and listening to my miracle, and I hope you put your miracle below too.